Going to call the meeting to order. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the November HDC regular meeting of the Historic District Commission. And there's Jake. I'm Tim Dowen. I'm the chairman. Please note this meeting is being recorded, and if you're not speaking, please have yourself on mute to prevent any background noise. Our meeting tonight will be broken up into two sections for the public hearing and the public hearing and the regular meeting. The public hearing is the opportunity for the applicants to present. Excuse me, that's Greg Farlow's in now. For the applicant to present their application and for the commission members to ask questions. And then once the public hearing closes, the regular meeting will begin. Regular meeting is where the commission discusses and votes on the applications. Applicants can stay and listen to the regular meeting, but applicants are not permitted to speak or provide more information regarding the application at the time. And it's not required that applicants stay during the meeting. Won't go against you or anything. And then all applicants will receive a written notice regarding the commission's decision the next business days. Thank you all. Any questions? Hearing none, welcome Jake and Greg.
Good to be here.
We have a full list of people, and we have
Megan.
Megan, I don't know if you're on yet or have your audio, but welcome Megan. Welcome John. And we have on the agenda tonight, we have two COAs. Full disclosure, I think we've seen one of these COAs before. We wanted more information for the 81 to 83 East Town Street, the First Congregational Church. They were putting in the heat pumps, and we wanted an update to the application and asked for that. And they're back for this. And then we had a COA 536. This is 17 Huntington Place. This is a new construction in-ground pool. And again, full disclosure on this. We had a lot of time limits coming across here. No heat in the church. And I think for the pool, limited time of when concrete could be poured. Worried about the temperature on that, and I made a executive decision. You can throw me out of my position if you disagree with this or not, but after receiving the updated applications and vetting them through, making sure, I know it was an issue of making sure it had enough information, I called the building department and gave them a go ahead to release any permits that they needed, and then we would address those applications here. And then our last application is 521. This is a extension for previously approved, obviously COA for a charger, EV charger. For 193 Broadway. I think that was in May of this year, 6 months to do the work that was coming due. So Lillian Pereira had put in a request for an extension. So I will then start with COA 535. This is 8183 East Town Street, First Congregational Church. John, who are you here?
I'm for the church.
For the church.
Yeah.
So did you have, we had all the applications here?
I could not open it on my phone, the application. He sent back to what we would do if we wanted to.
Yeah.
But my only question was, and Joe was concerned with, you wanted to put up fencing to hide something that you really can't see from the road. I was just looking through Dean's, like, so it's been pop up on Dean's, and we're willing to put up the fencing. but you don't see it from the road, not like, and UCF right next door, theirs is on the side of the building with nothing covering them,
All right.
you know, and so
I,
the picture that Dean has here, you can see the garbage cans, and those are only there to make sure that nobody took off of the things,
Mhm.
but from the road, in order to see it, is when you first come around the corner by the rocks across the street,
Mm.
you see maybe
Yeah.
a small glimpse of a corner.
agree.
Yeah.
I actually sat in the driveway of, can't remember what his name is.
Yeah,
Uh,
across I call it the house that needs to be painted.
Correct.
In
In that one. And from there, I took the picture, and that's why I wanted to make sure that we had that covered. Again, just because we wanted to be fully
And you see the garbage cans, but you don't see the condensers themselves.
well, I assume the condensers were positioned where they were going to be. Joe had set those
Right,
up.
and they're so far back in that corner that you really, the only way you can see them is if you stop coming around the corner and you're right by the rocks.
True. And granted, someone that's going around in a car is not gonna be as, it's gonna be quicker and have less of a view. I'm just saying, personally, I went there, I sent the picture,
Mhm.
and with those condensers there, they were visible, and that's why we kind of had set this up to say, do we want greenery or a fence or anything, and
She's got the picture here, those
right.
aren't the condensers, those are the garbage cans that you see.
all right.
The one that-
I didn't include it in your. And so again, my,
I'm not trying to argue.
yeah, I'm just saying that my viewpoint from that driveway, I saw condensers, that's all I'm gonna say, is so whether there's the application says that you would put in a fence,
Mhm.
if need be. I didn't provide those other pictures to the full group here. So the application, as we have it, let's just sit right here. And so, all right, I don't want to, make a big issue of it, because I agree. From the one picture here, it's,
And
you've got to be way in the
that
back.
one picture that he sent you, that's sitting right on the side of the building.
Exactly.
But,
Yep.
she just had one up that you could see from the road, you don't see it at all.
All right.
I mean, it's, from my point of view, we could put up a wooden fence,
Mhm.
which would not be a problem. I don't have a problem with doing that. But then you have the problem where, like, see, that's right in our driveway, picture that picture,
Mhm.
that you see the condenser. That's right on the corner of the building.
Are you looking at that one?
Yeah, that one that's right in our driveway.
Right.
But when you're from the road, I can show you on my phone, you
Yep.
don't see them.
Yep.
My theory is that once I step down from property manager, the next person might not be as diligent about keeping things painted and clean.
Mhm.
So you're gonna have the same problem. We have that fence that goes between UCF and us. Like, see there, you can't see that with the, that one there.
Right.
That's not the condensers, those are the garbage cans.
Yeah.
So, which
it-
I also agree that the fencing, it's not gonna make a big deal, you know, but again, the upkeep of it for a church that's already 360 years old and we're struggling
Right.
to get things
Right.
taken care of, and I think we try our best to keep with you guys, because I grew up on the green, and I like the fact that we are the oldest church in town, and that we try to keep things neat and clean, and
Mhm.
I mean, we didn't paint the door orange like one of the parishioners in her 80s said.
Mm.
We should do that to get attention to the church. So I think we will be dead.
May I?
Absolutely.
I agree with everything that you said, so, just, I really appreciate the updated COA, and again, being that the building has no heat, we want to be able to help you guys as much as possible. It makes the commission's job a lot easier to approve a project like this, when we have the pictures, the description, and all of that.
Mhm.
So it's much appreciated. We didn't get that the first time around, so it's okay. But I mean, from what I'm saying, I'm reassured. I like that's how I envisioned it was going to look. But it's I'm glad that
Yeah.
it has worked out the way it did, so.
I know the position of the trash cans, were
There
to
was-
show where, you know, the area.
And there's also to keep the AA, because we have AAA groups that come into our church every week.
Mhm.
And so it's also to keep them from parking there.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
So, and then my other fear is if we put the fence up, they're gonna take out the fence more than once or twice. They're gonna run it into it, because we only put it up with wooden poles.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um. All right, but if no fence was there, those containers, the barrels would still be in that general area. That's their normal area, correct?
Well, we put them there to stop them from parking. Now that the
Yeah.
condensers are, nobody will park there. I mean, I can put the garbage cans behind the other building, which it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Either way, it's just,
Mhm.
All right. Okay. I open up for any questions, Nancy or Greg or Jake?
Really?
Nope,
Looks
I'm
fine
all
to me.
good.
Are you did you have anything more to add? So,
no, the only thing is, I met with the city of Norwich on Monday and they're putting the gas line in. And so where they're putting it is on this same side as the condensers.
yeah,
And they informed me that they, because of the driveway and stuff, they have to put those metal pillars up to block from so there's.
are they
no-
putting the meter outside?
The meter has to be outside,
Oh,
Yeah.
right,
the gas
right.
meter.
Yeah.
So where they're putting the gas meter is actually right here. It'll be right here with two poles. They
Okay.
come gray. So I want to make sure that you guys know, there's nothing that we can do about that with the city of Norwich. But I would like to paint them white, so they blend in with the building instead of
Mhm.
sticking out. And
That's what we would encourage anyway.
Right,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so I just wanna make sure that you guys know that once
Yep.
they're there, I don't want you to go like, oh my God, they stuck them
Yeah.
there. So I just found this out on Monday. I didn't think that they were gonna put something, so
Yeah.
they wanted to put it through the other side was the other option between the two buildings. But then my fear is that the church members and AA people park right along the building, that they're gonna hit those.
Mhm.
And nobody parks there on this side, and as long as they're painted white. I believe that they will blend in, because
Yeah.
even if we leave the bottom gray, so it
Yeah.
blends in with the stone foundation.
Yeah.
And I'm just it's over by here is
Right, so it'd be right here between these two windows.
those two windows?
Where the well is?
Yeah.
So it's, because of they have vents here coming out for the new ones, it has to be 3 feet, so it's basically. Just on the other side of this window behind the well.
Gotcha.
And so again, like I told the city of Norwich, and I paint those, because I don't want these big gray things sitting there. I don't like the way that would look. And so, and I had also talked to Tim about, where the lawn is, putting something up there. With, whiskey barrels that are movable with
Yeah.
the chain, so that people running over the lawn.
Oh, I gotcha.
So,
Yeah.
just to let you know,
Yeah.
if you drive by and it's there.
Okay.
Okay. What was I gonna say? Are they going underground or are they digging up?
They are digging along, they were going, so if we went on the other side, they would have to dig up more, 3/4 of the driveway.
Oh, man.
So I was like, which they fixed it, but in the meantime, that's gonna be an eyesore.
Mhm.
So they are digging on the other side of the driveway and then just crossing over. So it's just gonna be like a 4-foot section that they're gonna dig up. So then in springtime, we can.
Yeah.
Because the weather's already get to the point where almost where we can't plant the grass.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
depending on, because they're talking 2 to 3 weeks out now, so.
Yeah.
We should be able to have that. Again, I'm a stickler about trying to keep the church a certain way, and you've been inside the church, so.
Mhm.
Okay.
Just keeping it historically safe.
Mhm. Absolutely.
And thinking ahead before we have any motions or anything in the regular meeting, does anyone want to make any comments about whether they think a fence is needed or not here?
I just have a comment about the meter. I think it sounds fine that you're considering painting it. Normally, we do just ask for a COA for that because it is part of, in the design guidelines when new meters the building, and we've done this before, and it's a pretty simple process. So if maybe for the next meeting, you just want to fill out an application with the meter, it sounds like something you would approve, just based off of the
Do I do that, or
conversation.
does the city of Norwich do that? That was my next question.
You would do that.
Probably you.
Okay.
Yep.
But it's just like for an electrical meter,
Yeah.
it's really just procedural.
Yeah, it's
More
just
than,
Right.
more than
We
anything.
we didn't know that part,
Because,
so.
because you need the gas meter and you need the
Yeah.
electrical meter, so it's really just a procedural
I
matter.
was kind of hoping that when they were going to be able to put in, that it would be in the corner. But
Yeah.
because of all the rules and regulations, it's gotta be away from X amount of electrical boxes.
Yeah.
It can't be by the
Yeah.
electrical wires, it can't be,
Yeah,
so I'm like,
So,
again, I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
happy about what they have to do with it, so.
right.
yeah,
Well,
But-
that,
I know.
we have no control over that,
Right.
Yeah.
where they put it, so.
Right.
Neither do you, so
Right.
it's okay.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
as Dane notes, for administrative purposes, we won't be doing anything on that for this COA.
Okay,
But when it comes up, it'll be another
Just-
after the fact.
Yeah,
okay,
Yeah.
It sounds procedural from
Yeah,
our standpoint,
yeah.
so it shouldn't be a problem.
yeah, because I mean, it's a state funding that you, I mean, a state funding, that the state regulations that we have no choice.
Absolutely.
right, yeah,
Okay, all
okay.
right.
Sounds good.
Anything else?
No.
All right. Thank you very much. You're free to leave, or you can stay around if you wish. But,
I work early to be here, so I will go do something that I have to do at the
Go,
church. So
go right ahead.
all
Thank you.
right.
I'll do the other job. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right.
Have a great night.
Thank
you
you,
too.
John.
John,
And now we will move to COA 536. This is 17 Huntington Lane, the pool and accessories. And we have a representative here, Megan. Take it away. You,
Oh, there you go. Can you hear me?
yes.
Can you hear me okay?
Uh,
Okay, sorry, I was being weird. I want to unmute. Yeah, we're putting in a pool. You guys have photos of everything from different angles. You can't see it. Also, once it's in, you won't be able to see it anyways. It's flush to the ground and surrounded by grass. So there's no diving board or swimming, like slide or anything like that. So you won't be able to see it at all. Eventually, of course, there'll be a fence, but from the current photos, what do you have? You have the photos of each side of the house, the view, and then I'm assuming you have some photos of what we hope for it to look like when we're done.
Yes,
Yes.
we have many photos. Some of them were concept photos and the like.
Yep.
And of the plots of where the pool would be around the corner of that. And I believe it was also the filter was going to be tucked away.
Yeah, so all the filters and all the filters are tucked in actually where we put the HVAC unit. So it's tucked into a spot where you can't see any of it. And I'm actually gonna fence it all off because I can see it from the backyard, but but you guys can't see it from the road.
Now you said fence twice. When we discussed this before, there's the pool itself does not need a fence around it. There's a safety feature there.
Right.
This would just be to enclose in the filter and the HVAC area that we can't see anyway, or what is the fence?
Correct. There's that one, and then I'll be submitting another COA once I decide what kind of fence that you would actually be able to see that we're going to put in. But that I'll put that COA in once we've decided on what we're going to do. I do know that we'll do, real wood, of course, so it'll go with everything else.
But the fence is not part of
down
this.
the road.
The fence is not part of this
one, no.
COA. Sorry.
No,
Okay. And again, the fence is not needed in order for you to get any of the completion done, because again, my understanding, my first concern was that we knew that there would have to be a fence. There would until you told me about the new law, I guess, of this safety feature here. So
yeah, Connecticut adopted an international safety regulation last October in 2022. And the pool company checked with the town itself to make sure that that the town had agreed to it, because I think individual towns can say no. So basically what it is it's an automatic cover that you always close the pool unless you're opening it. I have like a key. There's a specific safety key and lock, and I have to be able to see the pool as I'm closing it to make sure that there's nobody in there stuck under it. And then once it's on, it has the same amount of feet. It's probably actually more safe than a fence because you could climb over a fence. Whereas this, I think you can sit like a baby elephant on it and it won't do anything. So.
Well, I don't weigh that much. And it sounds like it's gonna make it harder for me to come over in the middle of the night for a dip, but all right.
Yeah, well, let me know and I'll just open it up for you.
All right. I did have one other, well, two things here. First one being just for own note here, were they able to get concrete in and get whatever they needed? Or are they still in the process of that?
They did it yeah, they're super fast. They did the first bit of concrete last week and they just did the rest of the floor, like the concrete floor today. So we're good to go. And then the liner goes in next week. So yeah, we're good.
So they were able to get it.
managed to make it through.
All right, good. And then for the other committee members, again, since I kind of jumped the gun and wanted to be able to get the permits out in time. And we did have, I know, a couple of members. I didn't want to call a special meeting for this because we had some members out of town and stuff. So hopefully we did due diligence in vetting and making sure we had enough information in the application here for everyone else. I don't know if anyone has any comments about that or the previous one that we had, but just want to make sure, because I know that was one of the concerns that we had before, was we want these applications to be as complete as possible. And this one is. Thank you very much, Megan.
Oh, you're welcome.
I
Thank you.
thought so anyway, but I'll hear criticism from anyone else. All right, do we have any questions? Open the floor here for the members.
Megan, you're saying that it cannot be viewed from the road in any event, correct?
Yeah, it's due to the slope of the road. In order the one side where you could potentially, between the big house and the little house that we have, that one side where you could potentially see, you would have to, based on like the slope, you would have to actually be standing sort of 3 feet above it in order to see it. From where you are on the road, unless somebody was in the pool, you wouldn't know there was a pool there.
Okay.
And I think there were a couple
So-
views that weren't the concept views anyway. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it just blends in with your landscape then level. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, it's pretty level. We're just
It looks
doing a
like a grass
simple,
lawn from the
it's just a
road.
simple rectangle, and then there's grass all around the pool. So
Mm.
you really, and then from the angle of the way the slope of the yard is, you really can't see it unless you were sort of standing above it, you know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we have any other questions?
Questions from me?
Hearing none. Thank you, Megan. You're free to leave the meeting here or whatever, but at any rate, you'll hear about our action by tomorrow. So,
Okay, thank you. I'll see you guys in a month for the fence.
okay. And then
Bye.
that leaves COA 521. This was the extension. I don't believe we have anyone here to represent that. This was I don't know if there's any presentation there other than they were coming up for the 6-month completion of the project and in November timeframe. And so they asked for an extension on that. And so with that, anyone have any questions? Anything else they know about that?
Nope.
No.
All right, hearing none, I'll close the public hearing at 5:55 and open up the regular meeting. And we will take actions on these COAs. I'll entertain a motion for COA. I gotta get the numbers, 535. This is for 8183 East Town Street, First Congregational Church. Well, I'm gonna entertain a motion.
I'll move to accept the application as presented.
I'll second.
All right, motion by Dane and seconded by Regan. I'll open it up for conversation here. Consultation, discussion. That's the word I'm looking for.
Tim, I'd just like clarification. You had said that you approved a couple without pulling a committee together. So I'm just curious, which ones did you approve?
I didn't approve them. I had talked to the building department, who they wouldn't be able to get any of the heat in here until they had a permit. And so based on that, I said, if you get a COA in here that had sufficient descriptions of everything that you were trying to do, then I would approve this in the emergency need for heat for the church. And so not approved, but I asked the building department to allow them to proceed. And then we would come after the fact and discuss the COA as presented.
Cool. I appreciate the clarification. Thanks.
Greg?
Yeah,
Carl? Yeah.
I'm not smart on this. Make me smart. Does their furnace not work? Why do they need another heat system in that building?
I think this was the new heat system that they needed somehow. Yeah,
Okay, the other one's gone then. In other words, it doesn't work.
right.
Not supplementary. Okay.
No heat until they had this, and then they needed the gas line to fill this in. So if we would wait until this point here, then it would be another month going on further to do that. And I think the issue that we had, much of the issue that we had last time, was that the COA didn't have a lot of details in it, and rightfully so. Jake pointed out that, hey, we're under the gun here. Why did we make a decision? How would we make a decision if there's no real details here? That's what we're calling for, is more details. And again, I kind of wanted them to have heat in the emergency situation, but I also wanted the application to be complete.
No, Tim, I thought that was great. I didn't want to sound like I was coming across as negative. I
No.
appreciate what you did. I was just curious how that worked out.
Yeah. Similar to the other one here, it seems like the gas isn't in there yet anyway, so all things work in their own time, I guess. But so I was kind of hoping that they were right on the heels of getting this all ready and they would have heat. Luckily, we've had a couple good weeks in the middle of here, so I don't think anyone has been frozen to their pew or whatever at any rate. So,
I think Greg Johnson has a comment.
I mean, from a practical perspective, Tim, I mean, and I'm not disagreeing with what you did, but since at this point the things are already installed, I mean, do we even need to vote? Because it's kind of like a moot point.
no, they weren't installed. They put them, they placed them there. They didn't install them. That was my understanding. Until I had done this, so it's not really hooked up yet since they don't have the gas in there. But Joe Cerrito had placed them there beforehand so we could get pictures and see if they were visible or not. My understanding is that the installation is certainly not complete yet.
Oh, I thought they were hooked up. So these are gas heat pumps?
They needed a gas line to come in, I guess. Yeah. And then there is an electric component that comes out the backside through the basement. So there's nothing creeping up, no conduit creeping up the wall or anything.
Huh. I thought those heat pumps were all electric.
Not for us to decide.
Yeah.
Efficient running on gas.
Yeah. This does not include the gas meter, that was new to me. I know they wanted me to put a gas meter outside my house and I bucked it and, I still have a meter inside my house, but I have to have it inspected,
So do
so every so often here,
so do we.
but, so that's not on the agenda here. What is though is whether, he included this, a wooden fence, if we, want to say that, that is needed or necessary.
Based off of the images and if you were walking the property, I think it's probably not necessary. It may just be an added maintenance thing down the road that they will need to address. As long as they're pretty much unable to be seen from the public right of way, which would be essentially the road. I think that's pretty, I
Yeah.
think it's acceptable.
I'm gonna agree with that. Also, based on the fact that I don't think the condensers at UCFS are obstructed.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and the condenser that was installed at the silversmith shop also doesn't have material around it. Again, not visible from the road, but visible if you go into one of the
Yeah.
driveways.
But isn't that
Yeah.
private property? You wouldn't be able to see it unless you're on private property, unless you're up on the hilltop there. I
True.
think that's about the only way, but,
Sure.
agree. I know I tried to kind of lead him before thinking, oh, if you're gonna put in a fence and a wooden fence,
Mhm.
that might be a nice way to hide the trash barrels and,
Yeah, the trash barrels are more.
I know.
more of an eyesore there. And so, but I don't have, he just
Yeah.
mentioned there that he might be able to put them around the other side of the building and
Yeah.
that they'd be less, noticeable. So,
Yeah.
that was one thing I was trying to, point to him for, but again, don't know how you guys feel about the fence, yay or nay. It sounds like, not needed. I'm gonna say it's not needed.
My feeling is I don't think it's needed, Tim. I think it's fine without it.
I agree, 100%.
All right. I'm
Mhm.
gonna, and Nancy's nodding her head and Greg Farlow is nodding. Okay. All right. So, I will point that out in the, well, as part of, it was part of what was presented here, but, whenever we vote on this, then we'll address that. So, do we have any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll take a roll call. Nancy,
Aye.
Greg Farlow, he mouthed aye. I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Can you unmute Greg?
And yeah, Greg, you're muted. Greg Farlow.
I'm sorry. I'm
I'll let you vote. Wait.
keeping myself unmuted. Aye.
All right, perfect. Jake,
Aye.
Greg Johnson,
Aye.
Dane,
Yes.
Regan,
Aye.
and I say aye, passes unanimously. I will get in touch with them and, we will anticipate another COA for the meter and I will point out no fence needed. All right. Next, 536, COA 536, 17 Huntington Lane. This is the swimming pool and the pool accessories, the filter that's going in. I'll entertain a motion on this COA.
I move we accept the COA as presented.
Motion by,
Second,
and motion by Greg Johnson and second by Jake. I'll open it up for discussion. And again, this is another one where if, and I may have overstepped. If we don't get this done, then of course we won't be able to pour the cement and then we're not on the list of next year's thing and it won't happen until 2027 or God knows what. So, oops, I shouldn't be saying that, be recorded. So again, everything is, we want to get these, done. We want to be responsive to these to the applicants. Megan said she wasn't aware since it was, flat on the lawn that she needed a COA to begin with. So, but that one is, again, I gave building department the go ahead just so they would be able to pour the cement. And, so less of an emergency need, but a decision I made anyway, so.
I think,
Anyway,
I think it sounds fine. It all looks good to me.
any other thoughts or discussion? Hearing none,
Go for a vote.
I will vote to take a roll call. Nancy,
Aye.
Greg Farlow,
Aye.
Greg Johnson,
I,
Jake,
Aye.
Dane,
Yes.
Regan,
Aye.
and I say aye. I know she's done good work in the past on things that we've done, so I'm not worried about seeing anything there. Anticipate that we'll see something in a fence. I'm not quite sure what the fence is gonna be since they don't need it for safety purposes, but
Oh,
we'll
look, an
address-
elephant.
yeah, we'll address that when it comes. All right. That leaves us COA 521 extension, 193 Broadway, Lillian Pereira, and EV charger. Open it up for a motion,
Move to accept
So
it,
moved.
the extension.
and Greg Farlow seconds.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? Hearing none. Nancy,
Aye.
Greg Farlow,
Aye.
Greg Johnson,
I,
Jake,
Aye.
Dane,
Yes.
Regan.
Aye.
I say aye. We will notify her that she has an extension, and I don't know how much easier
Yes.
during the winter months, but
Yeah.
hopefully she'll be able to get that installed. If it does. not
He's going nowhere.
If it doesn't get done in this 6-month extension, then she has to put in another COA, my understanding. So she has until today plus 6 months.
Mhm.
All right. That concludes our actions on COAs. Move on to approval of the minutes from our October meeting. Hopefully everyone had a chance to read those. Thank you, Catherine, for your note taking here, and do we have any? I'll entertain a motion to
So
accept.
moved.
So move Greg Farlow,
Yeah.
and second
Second.
by Jake. Any discussion, any changes?
I just noticed that Greg Johnson's name is Gary Johnson.
I saw that too. His
Nobody
email
knows.
is Gary, so sometimes in my head he's Gary. I'll fix that.
I just thought he changed it.
I didn't care.
Ah.
Yeah, I was
From now on, you're Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
what's bad is I'm skimming through the minutes right now and I didn't even notice.
All right. All right. Other than that one update, I'll go around, take a roll call. Nancy?
I'll have to abstain because I wasn't here for the
Oh.
meeting.
Okay.
Aye. Go on.
Greg is aye.
Aye.
Greg Johnson.
That's Gary.
Gary, I'm
Barry
sorry.
abstains as well.
You'll abstain. There we go. And Jake,
I approve the name change. Yep.
Dane,
Yes.
and Regan.
I'm gonna abstain because I was not there.
Excellent. And I will say aye. So with those 3 abstentions and passes. Please do your voodoo and get the draft off and get that off to City Hall. Thank you. Chairman report. I think we're down to the lowest that we're gonna get on our legal notice. 106, or excuse me, 10808.
Yeah.
It did go in. We've got it now where I don't need all the COA stuff to put the legal notice in, so we should be able to post that within 5 business days. Don't like the fact that it costs us out of our budget $108.08 each time. We will keep track of that, and when we get down to it, again, coming into your stipend, we're gonna make sure we're not putting a legal notice in. We'll make sure you're paid before that. So, and that's all I had for the chair report. Old business. I'm gonna keep it on new business because I think I'm still, did I ever get you my updates? You get me another update on the COA application. I had some email problems and I know I took those. I'm not sure I looked at this. So I'm gonna hold off on our COA application. Again, this one, I apologize for being dink on that. And we will get that in and make it make a streamlined COA, I'm sure. Or I will resign my position if I can't get this done. Who's else setting up? Everyone's raising their hand. All right.
Resignation not approved.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah.
All right.
Second.
So I will then open up the floor for anything else that anyone has.
Add.
Regan?
I sent an email to everyone earlier. I got a phone call from Preservation Connecticut this morning, wanting to nail down some local historic district training sessions in December. And so the way that it's settled is that the State Historic Preservation Office and Preservation Connecticut are leading the training session. And our commission is the quote unquote host commission. We don't have to do anything, just make sure we attend, get the word out. It's super minimal requirement on our end. And the meeting is going to be virtual, so we can gather in person, those that want to gather here for the meeting. Then of course those on Zoom are welcome to tune in virtually as well. And the goal is that it's going to be held after our regular meeting. So we'll meet at 5:30 normally, and then the training is at 7 o'clock because that seemed to work best for those that are on Preservation Connecticut board and the SHPO as well. So they pick 7 o'clock.
Do we if we end up our meeting early or we run late, is that an issue?
They're not using our Zoom. They're using Preservation Connecticut Zoom, so it's a completely different Zoom link. So don't even have to worry about it.
All right.
Regan, what are we being trained on? What's the topic? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. So it's basically training on how to be a commission member on a historic district commission. And so they'll go over some basics. They'll go over Robert's Rules of Order. They'll go over some scenarios that commission members may experience and face and how to handle those things. They're always looking for topics for discussion. So when I was chatting with Preservation Connecticut this morning, I just shared with them some thoughts of things that we've experienced as a commission recently as case studies that we could bring up during the training. And she was like, oh, great, those are good ideas. So so it'll be an hour, no longer than an hour. It will be interactive. The first part of the training will be more information based and like a presentation style, and then it will turn into an interactive discussion about different case studies and scenarios. So I really encourage
that sounds great.
Yeah, I really encourage everyone to attend if you can. I know some of it will be repeat information for those that have been on the commission for a while, but it's always good to get a refresher. So definitely, please try to attend if you can.
Gary and I will be there.
It'd be nice to finally know what I'm supposed to do at these meetings.
Who's driving?
There was another email.
Uh-oh.
There was a couple emails we got at noonish or after this afternoon. Was that related to Kathleen? I'm not sure.
Oh,
That was
so then, yeah, so I guess I'll just share. The other thing, a lot of the times the Historical Society gets emails for the Historic District Commission because that's just my lot in life that people assume the Historical Society is the Historic District Commission. So I had gotten an inquiry from somebody interested in purchasing that vacant lot on Scotland Road, 36 Scotland Road. It's that vacant lot right next to Megan Campbell's house, actually, and in between. I don't know the other people who live there, but anyway, it's the vacant lot right next to Megan Campbell's house.
triangular
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, exactly. It's a very small lot. They were interested in potentially building a small house on it and wanted to understand the regulations. And I was like, you got to talk to the city because I don't even know if water and sewer is connected on that site. So I deferred them to the planning and zoning department and also referred them to our design guidelines regarding new construction. So
Can I make a comment on that?
sure.
The city should buy the property, truthfully, because there's no way they're gonna build a structure
Right.
on
Yes.
on that strip of land. It's not gonna happen. But the city should acquire it and then they can install a beautiful historic looking welcome to historic Norwich town
Yeah.
sign. It's a perfect location.
Mhm.
I always wanted to see something there as welcome to historic Norwich Town. So that's my 2 cents. What should
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. Hey, Tim,
Yeah.
is that in your budget?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's in our budget.
Just like the welcome to
Yeah,
Vegas
yeah, we'll
sign.
put it next to the $108 late.
I'm not gonna,
Legal
I'm not gonna
notice.
put any more legal notices in, and I'm gonna save that up in a little jar in the kitchen.
But that's what I think needs to happen. We have no signs
I know.
that say welcome to historic Norwich Town, and we have such a beautiful neighborhood. We should show it off. The city should acquire
Turn
that,
left.
or at least gain an easement or a lien on the foot of it so that they could put a nice sign there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think should happen.
Well, who owns that property? It's not
it's
not the
property owned.
Campbell. Okay,
No, it's
I always thought it went along with that
Well, I
that
think that's
property.
what Megan-
Yeah, me too. I was amazed when I saw that for sale sign pop up on that lot. I was like, that don't belong to the other house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go spray paint the sign and say welcome to historic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Norwich."
The last thing I'll just add is that I did finally mail out some letters to new homeowners in the district. There's been some turnover in the Norwich Town Historic District, and I sent 3 letters out to the new homeowners who are now in the Healy's house. I don't know them personally yet, but the former Healy house, the former bed and breakfast, and there was of course one more that my mind is escaping in the last one. Maybe it was just those 2.
I think
I just
those
really
two. Yeah.
Maybe-
Did you send one to the people that bought 37 East Town?
Oh, that was the other one. That was it. I did send that one. Yes, I did.
Okay.
Thank you. That was
It's
the other
Jake,
one.
and I can't remember his wife's name.
Yes, I did. That was the third one that I was thinking of. I did send it to 37 East Town. Yeah, thank you, Greg.
Okay, good. I did notice on that house that I can't tell if they were getting ready to replace windows or if that's just really ugly exterior plastic insulation on the windows.
It's plastic. Yeah, just
Which house is that?
the it
It's
used
a
to
dark
be-
gray one. It used to
now
be
it's-
red.
Now it's gray.
It has the Taylor Swift banner on it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, Greg, those are the it's exterior plastic over the windows, temporary sheets.
I mean, that's what it looked like, but I've never seen people do it that way. So I was almost wondering if they're putting that up preparatory to pulling the windows out.
I don't think
I don't know. I can ask her.
we know them. They would have said if they were gonna pull windows out, and they know you can't do that without COA. So I don't think they shouldn't be doing that.
I just want to clarify that I sent a letter. It was 44 East Town Street. That was one of the new homeowners in the district. It's across the street from 37. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
That it was 44. And then I sent one to 19 East Town Street. And then
Is that the Healy?
Yeah, the Healy.
Healy.
House. And then 380 Washington, I sent one to.
Okay.
So just wanted to clarify that.
All right.
Is 44 the white one on the corner, or is that farther down?
It has the cool skeleton in front. The tall skeleton that they decorated for Halloween.
That's farther down because the
Yeah.
white one on the corner changed hands recently too.
Yes, I had already sent that one a letter a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is
So
that-
that's all I have.
That's the one that went up for auction, right? It
No.
went-
No,
it
just
was
for sale, just for a
no,
while.
years back before.
I don't
I
know.
thought,
I don't
anyway,
know. I
maybe
couldn't
not.
tell you.
maybe not. All right.
That's all I have to share.
Any last nickels?
Yeah, I do want to bring something up real quick.
Uh-oh.
So I want to preface this by saying, Tim, I probably would have done what you did, but I get concerned that we're gonna start letting people under the wire with COAs. I understand she needed to pour her cement in time, but she submitted enough COAs to know when to submit them. I just get worried that we're gonna start graying the line so much that we're going to have other people going, well, you did it for Megan and you did it for other people. I just worry that we're setting a precedent. And if nobody else here is concerned with it, I get it and I'll back down. But I just get concerned that we're going to set a precedent that other people are gonna tune into.
All right.
Yeah.
Noted.
And, yeah.
I have a comment on that. I think, Tim, if I were in your position, I probably would have done the same thing. In fact, I
agreed.
would have done the exact same thing, because especially when it comes to heat for a building,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, the most important thing is the preservation of the building.
Yeah.
And heat is very important. I don't really have an issue with that.
No, I don't have an issue with the heat. I
the-
was referring more to the other one.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
they should have submitted it long before.
Yeah.
And is there a way that we can include in the approval to say, please note that COAs must be submitted before work commences?
Yeah.
And again, it's one of those things where they could say, yes, we know that we're trying to go with a very strict time schedule, but at least we could do our due diligence
Yeah.
and say, and just include that.
I will do that. Again, surprised me that she didn't recognize.
Yes.
She knows
Yes.
better, definitely.
Emergencies are one thing, and that some things are out of our control, but Megan knows better.
Yeah.
I
Fencing.
agree. Heat is a different story. A swimming
Exactly.
pool,
Uh-huh.
I think we're really stretching it with that.
I don't know, Jake. I mean, because pools are very important. I
Especially now, November.
She presented it as ye old swimming hole, so I thought that was
Ah.
more appropriate, but
Paul Revere swam here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Benedict Arnold swam there? No.
For the fence, I think we should
Wow.
really, keep our feet to the fire on that.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I felt much worse about that one. And again, everyone has a story and it seems sad. And I
Mhm.
I
Exactly.
broke down. I've been known to do that in other situations also.
As he looks at his wife.
No comment from our guest over in the side here.
Who is
Um,
our guest?
His wife is here.
She's over here.
Oh, nice. Nice to meet you.
Oh,
She's over in the corner. There she is.
hello,
All right.
I'm back here.
Any, yeah. Any other last nickels?
I just want to say, Tim, from this angle, it looks like you have a gray hair or two coming in. So
I-
just be wary of that.
So this is what I was thinking about. We got down here late because since
Hey,
we are
Con.
now YouTube stars, I should set this up where it's got my best side anyway. I should be over where Lisa is, but at any rate, all right.
Meaning off camera, is that what you're saying, Tim?
Exactly. All right, hearing nothing else, our next regular meeting
Yeah.
scheduled December 20th, followed by our training schedule. I will be down here. We will still do a hybrid meeting. And so I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Okay.
Uh,
moved.
Second,
All
third, and fourth.
all in favor, say aye.
Bye.
All right. Meeting is adjourned at 6:23.
Thanks,
Okay.
Tim.